Don't wear these fragrances in 2024. Wear or buy these instead. Don't misunderstand me, I don't have any problem with these fragrances or houses. Most of them got me a ton of great compliments, but I have a big collection, over 800 bottles, and I'm a YouTuber. For me, it is no problem to buy different fragrances, even though if they are not good, I can just share my opinion with you about them. So I can buy different bad, good fragrances, but most of you are not YouTuber and you don't have a big collection. So I believe it is better to be more picky and get a better value from your purchases. Without any further ado, I want to start by House of Giorgio Armani, Acqua di Gio. I want to be fair. Got me a ton of great compliments. I have great memories with this fragrance, but I have two issues. Current batches are not performing. They are weak, like 4-5 hours max. I can say 4 hours even. In terms of longevity, with first hour of average, below average projection and sillage, and it's not smelling like before batches, very bright and crisp. And the second one, it is very overplayed and outdated. It doesn't smell anymore modern. I suggest you from the same house. As you can see, I don't have any problem with the houses. Acqua di Gio Profondo smells way more modern compared to the regular Acqua di Gio. I like it better. Scent profile is more crisp and more modern, more appealing. It is sweeter compared to this one a little bit, but aquaticness is here same or even boosted. And I can get like a resiny, masticish vibe at the background of the fragrance. Way more modern and gets better compliments definitely. In terms of performance, I can get 10-12 hours plus longevity, which is impossible with this one. Projection is average for first 2-3 hours. It is not that wow in terms of projection, but sillage is very big, leaves a very long scent trail behind and gets solid compliments. Let's continue by House of Paco Rabanne, one of my absolute favorite houses, and this fragrance is one of my all-time favorites. Works great with my body chemistry, gets me crazy compliments. Still I wear it. But to be honest, I'm talking about 1 million by the way. To be honest, if I want to impress someone, especially a woman, with a sweet fragrance, I wouldn't wear this one. So instead of 1 million, I would go with 1 million Lucky. Smells more modern compared to this one and yummier, I have to say. It has that mouth-watering feel to it more than this one. This is also a yummy fragrance, but this one is edible. I cannot say to this one edible. So this is like cherry jammy at the opening, but very soon gets like leathery cinnamony at the dry down, and that leather note makes this fragrance or pushes this fragrance out of that edible gourmand territory. This one is like hazelnuts, plum and honey, and a pretty linear fragrance. It doesn't change by the time and smells very mouth-watering and yummy and gets way better reactions from women, and it is not as overplayed as this one. So both of these fragrances are great performers. Still I can get with this one 8 hours, but this one is 10 hours in terms of longevity. It doesn't push like 1 million to be honest in terms of projection, but has a better sillage, has a very yummy, honeyish, plummy and fruity, like very freshly baked cookies type of sillage. I really enjoy it. So instead of 1 million, I would suggest you 1 million Lucky. Let's continue by House of Dior. I'm sure you guessed it already through Dior Sauvage EDT. I have all the line, EDP, Parfum, Elixir. I have also 3 backup bottles with this one, and you can see I pretty like it and wear it. But it is everywhere right now. I can smell it everywhere in Denmark, even in the gym. So instead of this one, I would suggest you another fragrance which is cheaper and has almost same atmosphere. Not DNA, like aggressive, smoky, citrusy, fresh, like safe and daring, like peace and war type of DNA. I would suggest you this one. Arm of Club de Nuit Intense Man limited edition. There is few versions for those who haven't seen this fragrance on new in the game. EDT, EDP, Pure Parfum and limited edition. I would suggest you limited edition. Lasts way longer compared to the current batches of Dior Sauvage. This is older batch. I can get 12 hours. With newer batch I can get batches, I can get like 7-8 hours. This one is 10-12 hours plus type of lasting fragrance, and projection sillage is very crazy with this one. So you can get like 10-12 hours plus longevity, and it is not as overplayed as this one. And they ask you what are you wearing, because it is clone of Creed Aventus, which is a very expensive fragrance, and they don't sell here, at least in Denmark, that much cologne fragrances. Very difficult to find this one in the fragrance shops or stores or locals, I have to say. None of the fragrance shops sell Arm of Club de Nuit Intense Man here. So that's why they ask me what are you wearing, and lasts very long and gets 100 times, I can say, better compliments compared to the Dior Sauvage, without no doubt. So instead of Dior Sauvage, I would suggest you Arm of Club the New Intense Man limited edition. Let's continue by a great cheap fragrance. Yeah, you say a great cheap fragrance, but you say don't buy it. What is this paradox? Maybe you ask. I will say to you why. I mean this fragrance, Nautica Voyage. Is it a cheap fragrance? Yes, 25 bucks max, 30 bucks for 100 ml. Fair enough. Is it a complimenting fragrance? I'm refreshing my memories. Not the best complimenting fragrance, but yes, to be honest, like 5.5 out of 10 max. So what is my problem with this one? First, it doesn't perform. Like 5 hours max I can get with this one, let's say barely 6 hours. With first hour 1.5 average, below average type of projection and sillage, and it smells like cucumber and floral to my nose. I don't like that cucumbery and floral feel of this fragrance. And it smells cheap. Yeah, it is a cheap fragrance, but it doesn't have to smell cheap. For example, you can go buy Afnan Turati Blue. Is it a cheap fragrance? Yes. Does it smell cheap? Hell no. How is the performance? 12 hours plus, 10 hours plus. How is the projection and sillage? 2 hours good. How is the complimenting factor? 8 out of 10, I have to say. And what is the price? 30-40 bucks. It's a bit more expensive compared to this one, but for 10 bucks, definitely it is worthy, I believe. How is scent profile of this fragrance? It is very unique. Compared to 99% of my collection, it smells different. It is Cologne of Bulgari Tiger, which is a very unique citrusy fragrance, and it is outstanding. Gets definitely 10 times better compliments compared to Nautica Voyage, and smells way more unique compared to this one, and it doesn't smell cheap. To be honest, you pay 30-40 bucks and you smell like 300 bucks with this one. But is it possible with Nautica Voyage to smell like 300 bucks? Hell no. So I would suggest you Afnan Turati Blue. It's my opinion only. Instead of Nautica Voyage, you're gonna get better compliments and definitely better value from your money. Let's continue by House of Jean Paul Gaultier. This fragrance is a timeless masterpiece for me. Still, I love it. I mean it, and blows me away. But for me, it is no problem. I wear 4-5 fragrances per day. I test every day new fragrances. But if I want to suggest this fragrance to you or to a person that wants to get only one fragrance, maybe his budget is tight and wants to get the best value from his money with only one fragrance. He cannot buy, test 10 fragrances every month or every year. He wants to have one fragrance and get the best value from the money. I cannot suggest this fragrance to such a person. I know you're gonna write in the comments, hey, I love this fragrance, Le Mal, by the way, from House of Jean Paul Gaultier. But yeah, you can like it, but we cannot suggest to those type of people this fragrance that want to have only one fragrance and get the best value for money, because it is not performing anymore. Like the newer batches, you have to overspray this fragrance to get some performance, 5-6 hours max. First hour 1.5 below average, average barely projection and sillage, and scent profile is outdated to my nose, but I love it. So instead of this one, you can go buy Le Mal Le Parfum from the same house, close to each other, share some similarities, but this one is way more modern compared to the regular Le Mal. It is sexier and it is, I can say, more expensive smelling somehow, and has that appealing feel to it. Gets better compliments, and it is as memorable, as signature scent worthy as regular Le Mal. With this one, I can get 5 to 6 hours max in terms of longevity. With first hour, I will have average projection and sillage with 10-12 sprays. With this one, I can get 10-12 hours plus longevity, 2 hours good projection, and sillage is better compared to the projection. Projection is not that loud here like Ultramal, but it is good, fair enough, and gets definitely compliments with like 5-6 sprays max. So instead of Le Mal, it's better to go with Le Mal Le Parfum from the same house. Take care, guys.